How's everybody doing tonight? I'm TJ. Normally, we would be starting the show and just getting right into the antics and having a little bit of fun. But there's one thing that I need to cover tonight before any of that starts. Um, there's a member of this show and someone who's been a good, close friend of mine for over the last 20 years. You guys know him as Rage. Wrestlers know him as Gavin Alexander. Um, I know him by his first name, and I'm not going to drop his legal name here because I don't do that. But the long and the short of it is I got a call early last week from Rage's wife to let me know that Rage had wound up in the hospital. There was a lot of problems that I'm not going to get into. Speculation started all over the place, and we do have a diagnosis. Rage was 3 days ago diagnosed with acute disseminated encephalomyelitis, which is a pretty rare neurological condition. And of course, everyone on the show, everyone that I know personally that knows him, for the most part, we've all had our disagreements with him, but none of us want to see him die. None of us want to see him go the route of the dodo and end up extinct. So, to give you guys a basic idea, I know that everybody knows that I give Rage a lot of grief, and I give him a lot of, and he expects it. I mean, that's just how our friendship has been over all these years, and everything that we have done to each other, and what has happened with each other over the years, and good times and bad. The one thing I can always say is no matter what, at the end of the day, Rage has always been there. And even though I live in Texas, I mean, even now, he's still a phone call away. Um, do I call and talk to him about a lot of my problems? Most of the time, no, because I don't want to overload him where he's already got enough on his plate. The understanding I have at this point is, even though we joke about it a lot, Rage is very, very big into his wrestling. It's something he's dedicated a good piece of his life to, and has been, I would say, mildly successful at it. Won plenty of titles. He's traveled around, he's done a lot. And it's for him, it's not a career, it's not a hope to make it big, it's a passion, and it's an intent, either good, bad, or indifferent. It's an intent to impact somebody in a way that they're moved and they enjoy what they see, and they get to be a part of something that takes them away from their problems for a few hours, and he gets to be one of the reasons that happens. So as much as I joke with him and give him grief about it, I know that initial prognosis is that there is a very, very good chance that he is actually going to have to hang up his wrestling boots and be done. And with that being said, I know it's going to hurt him. And I feel for him because I was there when I gave up professional broadcasting full time, and it was my passion. Just to be able to affect one person, it was very important to me. That being said, Rage is one of my best friends, and he's someone that I can always count on to have everyone's best intentions at heart, and know that even though I may disagree with the decision that he has, and I'll tell him, and he knows I'm enough of an asshole to tell him, uh, I'll always support him. Always have, always will. So with that being said, I wanted to say before we really got into our regular antics tonight, Rage, get better, get home, take care of your family, And please, keep me posted, because this is not a road that any of us have been down easily. And on behalf of me and everyone on Mayhem's Amigos, everyone involved with the show, and I'm hoping even the listeners, speedy recovery, home soon, and, obviously just do your best to take care of yourself, because there's only one of you, and we'll never be able to replace you. You have been a friend of mine to a point that you are as close to me as Jim the photographer was to Ray Lytle. You are that important to me, and that good of a friend. Broadcasting, outside of broadcasting, everything, we've really had we've had a ride, and I don't want it to end. We've got a little more to do. So, and this is something you could do from home in your easy chair, smoking a cigarette and watching Captain Kangaroo. So God bless, keep it up, and my thoughts and prayers. And with that being said, let's bring in Adam.
Hey, everybody.
And let's try this out.
Before we get too far, to let people know what this is that Rage is kind of up against, if you imagine your nervous system kind of being like an electrical wire cord,
right,
insulation on the outside of it, this disease eats through that insulation or cover, so it can cause like short circuits in your body,
right?
And it can do whatever it wants. It just all depends on where the short circuit is. So it could cause them seizures. It could cause them to act weird.
Right.
It could affect limbs. It can do whatever it wants.
Steve's in the chat room saying kick ass Rage and get better.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think that's a big vote of confidence right there. It really is.
Yeah. So just to give everyone an idea about what this is that Rage is against, it's about as simple as I can put it.
Yeah. And with that being said, I had to pick a new music. I was like, come on, I gotta have something here. Welcome to Mayhem's Amigos. I'm TJ. That's Adam. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of the show tonight. I don't know where the hell Chris is at, because some of what we're going to get into tonight is something that he'd be all about.
You think so?
We will obviously not have a guest appearance tonight from my son, as this weekend was the weekend from hell. And I had to drive him to St. Louis to, unfortunately, let him get back with his mom.
Mm-hmm. You had to bring him back to Illinois.
Well, St. Louis. But...
Okay, close enough.
I mean, for crying out loud, I hate doing all the work. I really do.
Couldn't have met you somewhere along the line or let you fly him home or something?
No, I mean, it didn't work out like that at all. So I was just like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, you got to be kidding me. It's insane, right? What's happening? That's... I know who that is. That's one that want to get me in trouble. Arriba. Andale, yeehaw. So yeah, I mean, this is it's been a wild week. Just this week alone has just been insane. Like as I told you guys on Sunday, my week, as most of you guys know, my week usually starts on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. I go in 7 to 3, and I come home and I do what I got to do around here, and then I log on and we do the show. And then when I'm done with the show, I pretty much got the rest of the evening. I go get some good sleep, because I don't have to be back in until 12:45 the next day, and then on Monday through Thursday, 12:45 to 9. When Riley's not here, it makes for an easy life for me. I mean, it really does. So, like when, my honey decides to call me at 11 o'clock at night, say Monday through Thursday, I'm awake. I could grab a phone and I can answer the phone call. I actually have a conversation and I'm coherent.
Shit,
Which
really?
is that's not usually the case. But this week was a little odd because I already arranged it at work and I did have the return trip for Riley to take him back to his mom. Now, and as everybody has seen over the last 6 shows, when Riley's here, obviously I'm very preoccupied. I'm very busy. I feel like a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, and I don't have time to breathe. It's insane.
Yeah.
So now don't get me wrong. I love having him here, but he's getting to that age now where there's a lot of times he doesn't require a lot of attention, but there are some times where he really wants it, and I've only got a certain amount of time with him, so I try to give him as much as I can. You understand?
Yeah.
So obviously I was just like, so I get told that I had to go into work 7 a.m. to noon on Friday to make up for me not working today, which turned it into a 6-day work week for me, essentially.
Yeah.
And I was just destroyed. I'm blasted at this point. And I'm going, I'm exhausted, So
you're exhausted with just one. With just one?
No, I'm not done. So then, we always try to make his last day in the area a pretty big day for him. Yeah. Because we want him to, have the memories and go back and everything else. So I get back. Finally, my Humera arrived. So I was like, okay, good. I got to put it in cold storage for the moment. I'll get it when I get back. I'll take my next round and I'll be good to go. Okay. Which I did when I got back in tonight. But the thing is, when I take that, I get really fatigued really quickly. And I know that I better eat before I take it. I bet if I'm going to drink anything, I better drink it before I take it. Once I take that shit, it's within 3 hours. I'm done. Okay. I'm done. So long and the short, I took it right before the show started. Okay. And right before discussing what happened with Rage. But Friday night, we did not get back here until almost 10 o'clock at night.
Ooh.
And then I got a call from Marvin's daughter. So I ended up talking to her until 11. And I'm like, hey, as much as I hate to cut this short, I've got to get some sleep because I've got to get on the road early tomorrow. And she goes, oh, how early? I said, I've got 3 hours. So Thursday night, I was on about 3 hours of sleep. Then Friday night, 3 hours of sleep. Then I get on the road. And I get on the road at 3 instead of 2 like I wanted to because we had to get everything loaded up. Then Riley crawls in the back seat. And immediately he farts and starts snoring. And I'm like, God, really? You got to fart while I'm getting ready to drive down the road?
Well, it's not like the other day. You kind of did it back to him.
Well, I mean, that's fair. I'm Dad. I should be farting and locking out windows.
Do you want to explain to our listeners what you did to Riley?
Oh, I will later. I'll get into that later.
Okay. It's good. You guys should hear
But you know what? He got even with me on that one, too.
Okay.
So I take off. I hit construction. I hit weather. I hit all sorts of stuff going from here to St. Louis. Now, we're talking about a 900-mile drive I'm on the road at 3. It takes me a minimum of 5 hours to get out of Texas when I'm on this trip. As Adam knows, he's been on the phone with me a couple times with this.
Yeah. Yep.
I get to Oklahoma. I just crossed the state line into Oklahoma. I actually got out of the car to go piss. On the way back, my phone rings. It's his mother. Where are you at? How far out are you? I'm like, even if I'd gotten on the road at midnight, I would still only be maybe a third of the way through Oklahoma. It's not a short trip. We pull in at 5 in the evening in St. Louis, and she whips right in there. I mean, right there. Okay.
Okay.
She's trying to go and I locked my car. Well, okay. I locked my car because I've got a loaded firearm in my car. I'm not going to leave that unlocked.
Yeah. It's a very good reason to lock your car.
So I go in, check in. I need you to unlock your car. I said, you can wait a minute. I have been on the road for 12 and a half hours. You drove 3.5. Stop. Now.
Yep.
This is, I'm exhausted. This is not the time. I go out, I unlock the car, I say goodbye to Riley, and I'll tell you what, that's the hardest time is when I watch that thing drive away and everything he tells me that he has to deal with. That hurts. Because I know he's going right back into an area that, if I'm going to be very honest about it, I know he's not happy.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. But I'm not in a position.
It won't be too long before he can tell the courts where he wants to stay.
Yeah, but there's nothing I can do about it either. You know what I mean? And that's the hardest part. Now, granted, the other day we were on our way back from San Antonio. It was the day I got my reimbursement check. And we're on the way back from San Antonio, and I had just my bubble guts were gurgling. We'd had Mexican food. I hit the window locks, and I let that thing rip. And that kid made it sound like I was killing him because I let that thing go. Just sitting there, I need air.
It's proper raising of a boy.
Yes, I mean, you have
your
to.
son. You do that.
So I let it go, He's like, he'd making just this huge deal out of it. I thought it was hilarious. I was so entertained that I actually got to lock the windows and lock him in with a fart for the first time. Because normally he'll catch the window and get it a little quicker than I do. It's
a modern day Dutch oven.
Yeah, pretty much. He did get even though. So, I mean, it was Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday morning. Yeah. And he comes in and he goes, Dad, I need you to help me out. I said, what? I might have, but he says, I need you to help. And I said, why? What's going on? He'd just come out of the bathroom. I'm like, do you need a towel or something? He goes, I think you need to flush the tanks because it's not going down. What do you mean it's not going down? I walk in there. He's got this dinosaur turd. I mean, I should have taken a picture and sent this thing to Steve. It was one of the single largest turds I've ever seen. And it came out of my 68-pound kid. And I'm like, look, this is what you got to do. And I filled, all right, the toilet in my coach, if you lift up on the pedal, it fills the bowl with water. And then you push down on the pedal and it flushes, right?
Right.
So I lift up on the pedal and I fill the bowl with water And once it finally kind of did it a little bit of a float, then I pushed the pedal and flushed it. Like, it was that easy. And he goes, ha ha, and walks away. I'm like, did you do that on purpose? He goes, yeah, I needed to get even. Oh, you little shit. He got me back. He truly did get me back. I was like, I cannot believe that kid actually pulled that off.
I'll be
so shocked.
right back.
Gotcha. So shocked by it. I couldn't believe it. So as of today, there has been a lot of things that have hit the news, and it's blown my mind by what has happened here. First of all, let's start with former President Donald Trump and how we all know he's an asshole, yet somebody takes a pot shot at the man. All right, first of all, he's a running for president, former president, not current president. Why are you taking a shot at him to begin with? He's going to have the same Secret Service protection that he had when he was president. You can't do it. He turned at just the right time, and the bullet got him in the ear. So we covered all of this last week. And I said, I'm really interested to see how things kind of unfold and where everything's going to fall into place. And boy, what a week of what we've seen. It has been insane. Seems like a ways to six and a half. That might be. Oh, a waste of $6.50. Okay. So it's been crazy to me. All right. Most of my friends, and I'm sure Adam will back this up when he gets back on, most of my friends and I, we have talked about this in depth. And most of my friends are either like, we got to put him back in, or they're in the undecided category going, I don't know which way to go here. Well, I mean, with inflation, hun, good chance that the price of rounds went up. But there's been a lot of back and forth with this. And, I've got some friends that are very, pro-Biden, pro-Harris. I've got some friends that are very pro-Trump. And I've got a lot of friends that are right here in the middle going, I don't know which way to turn with this. I'm not comfortable either way. I don't know which way to go. So we get to the Republican National Convention this week. First move that he did, J.B. Vance as his running mate. Young guy, 39 years old, first-term senator, good head on his shoulders, a lot of common sense. And honestly, I think a very good choice because he is the next generation coming up. So why not start him with that vice presidency, a lot like they did with Nixon, and show him the ropes of what needs to be done and how it's done. Great idea. Okay. If he doesn't go for it, then maybe, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to unfold this. Trump obviously gets the nomination. We knew it was going there. So you had, prior to this, the debacle of a debate, which if you have not watched that yet, I highly suggest going to YouTube and watching the Biden-Trump debate from this year. Oh my God. I have never seen, I take it back, not never, but I have rarely seen anything as comical as that. That was insane. And I'm going, you got one guy that's a loose cannon, the other guy doesn't know what he had for breakfast. Really? And then the one can't figure out a coherent sentence ever. What do you do? Anyway, we get to Trump's acceptance speech. He didn't take any pot shots. He stuck to what his talking points were. He stuck to the issues that are important to him. And he was calm. And he explained everything that happened when they took the shot at him. And he was calm throughout the whole thing. Hit his points. This is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to fix it. Concluded his speech. I did watch the whole speech in its entirety. And it was the first time that I can honestly sit back and go, who is this guy? And what did he do with Donald Trump? Because Trump's a loudmouth asshole. Who is this guy? And why did this guy not run in 2020? Because if this guy would have been the guy that ran, it would have been a second term. No question. Because toned down. Presidential. He acted presidential for a change. On the way back from St. Louis this morning, I turn on his first appearance at a rally since the assassination attempt, which was yesterday. Hey, got a couple pot shots in there. Not like normal, but still very toned down, hit his talking points, stood on his record, and moved on. Again, where was this guy 4 years ago, 2020? Where was he at? Today, we get a notice that President Biden is stepping down from running. He is not going to campaign. He is withdrawing from the race for re-election, and he has endorsed Vice President Harris for the presidency. I am slightly concerned that that is a bad move on the point of the DNC, because I really have not seen anything from Vice President Harris that I find impressive.
Yeah.
Now, I know, as well as most people know, a lot of people are going to vote for her just because she's Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to do it or you're going to have those that vote for her to not have Trump. Now, I've got a good friend of mine that's like, I'm writing in on the ballot Wile E. Coyote, because at least the Coyote was better balanced than both of them.
Well, and the Coyote is supported by Acme.
Oh yeah, he's got a hell of an endorsement. So
yeah.
during the speech at the rally yesterday, former President Trump announces that good old Elon up the road is donating $46 million a month to the Trump campaign.
I'm going to need to see proof of that. Something.
$46 million a month. Well, I do believe I got something here from I do believe I have something here from AP on that. I could have sworn I just saw an AP news alert. So give me 1 second.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, that sounds crazy.
It sounds insane.
I need a little bit. Yeah, I need a little bit of proof before I'm just gonna go and believe that. I don't care who it came from.
Right.
Like
right.
Said
absolutely.
Or whoever. Yeah.
But I'm like,
I'm gonna need a hard copy on that one.
You have got to be shitting me. $46 million a month? This guy's company is going bankrupt. He wants to throw in $46 million a month. He just laid off 2,700 employees in Austin alone.
But hey, when you're worth millions, or when you're worth billions, what's a few million?
But I mean, you're going to do that, and you're like, 46 million a month? Oh, let me see. I'm looking here. I'm looking. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, Trump donation.
Let me search an AP on this. Oh, okay. So, Elon has dropped the lawsuit against Chat GTP maker OpenAI without explanation. He's probably because he didn't have a case.
Yeah.
And a fired SpaceX employee is now suing the company for wrongful termination and aiming that lawsuit at, hey, Elon. It couldn't have happened to a nicer asshole.
Yep.
Let's see. The Reverend Jesse Jackson has now endorsed Vice President Harris. Top national security officials highlight Biden's foreign policy chops. And Democrats are rallying around Vice President Harris after Biden exits the campaign. Dynamics remain in flux. So we don't know what that is. We don't know what we don't know.
So my question is, all of the funds that Biden raised,
yes,
where do they go? They surely can't go to Kamala, right?
No, I think that war chest would transfer to her because it was the Biden-Harris administration. So, I mean, it's some gray area, I would assume. Or then again, he might try to stuff it in his pocket and run for Epstein Island. I don't know.
I mean, that could maybe be why Kamala's being given the spot.
No, it's because
it gets maintained.
It really goes back to that debate and how horribly he did it. That was a disaster for the DNC. After that debate, they were rallying the troops to try to figure out how to get him to back off. It was a disaster.
Yeah, no, it's making us hope for a weekend at Biden's where two people are just holding them up, using them as a puppet.
Herbert P. Vert is in the chat room, and he says, from what he hears, the party doesn't want Harris. And I think you're right, but the AP just reported just a couple minutes ago that the party is trying to rally around her. Now, here's the problem that you're going to run into, and this is the thing that you got to look at. On the one hand, the Democrat, it's an odd dynamic for a change. The Democrat Party is in turmoil right now, scrambling, trying to figure out how to do something with this election. Writing in B.B. Cooper. Oh, my God. I would rather go with B.B. Cooper.
We'll say writing in would be awesome if everyone could get on the same page for who they're writing in.
I am voting for Taco Bowman, former national president or former international president of the American Outlaws Association. He might. Never mind. On the other hand, I'm about to slip. I'm like, let me get back on track because my train of thought is hitting a lot of pennies on the tracks today. On the other hand, they did the rally. I have watched highlights from the RNC, and holy God, I have never seen the Republican Party rally like that. No, please, God, don't bring back Hillary. Please, God.
I mean, do you think some of the Democrats are in the spot where they have to choose either Trump or Harris, and it's who's less worse
Well,
than
yeah,
the
you're
other?
pretty much there. But you know what? That's actually a good point. JB is probably on the phone putting his name in the hat. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt
He
it
was
at all.
he was one of the people, from what I understand, who
He
could be
wanted it
asked.
after Biden stepped down, and he's made that very clear.
Mhm.
Well, Biden's saying he can't go another term, and I mean, obviously, he can't.
Yeah. Do you think this makes like an age maximum on the presidency?
I really think that that is something that they need to. I think that's something that they really need to look into. They really
Yeah,
need to
'cause
be very honest about it and look into maybe there is a maximum age.
yeah.
And Herbert says all they have to do is all Trump's got to do is bring up the state of San Francisco. Yeah, that San Francisco is a disaster. It is horrible state of affairs right now in San Francisco.
Yeah.
My first thought when they said Harris was going to run, I thought back. And the push for Harris to be the running mate for Biden was made by Pelosi. I would not be surprised to see Pelosi go, there's my chit you owe me. I'm your running mate.
It's like
And
that.
if it goes that route.
Yeah, no.
That no. Harris Pelosi, no. At that point, yeah, I'm going in and punching a straight Republican ticket. I'm not even going to look at it like, no. That's an emphatic no. No way.
Yeah.
Trump hit some points and hit some hard points. And really all we've got to do as regular people, all we've got to do is look at our budgets. 3.5, 4 years ago, before electric car mandate, before, reversing Keystone Pipeline, and you can go on and on and on and on and on. In Texas, I was paying sometimes $1.95, $1.90, $2.05 for gas. $25 would get me enough groceries to last a few days.
Not anymore. $25 may get you a day, maybe two.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're not getting much.
Yeah.
And then the gas. I mean, gasoline alone, it kills you.
Yeah, it's always itching closer to right around $4 here in Central Illinois.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, pre-COVID, I was in Central Illinois, and I was filling my car for the same amount of money then, or a little less, in Central Illinois than I am now in Texas. And Texas has always traditionally been a less expensive energy cost. So there's a lot of factors that go in where I go, just by my pocketbook, I look at all of this. Then I look at U.S. Steel getting fired back up in Granite City, Illinois. The big deal that was made about that, because that'll be the only thing.
Yeah, it is more common to see companies leave Illinois
than
to come to Illinois.
No, I'm saying reinvesting in Illinois.
Yeah.
And they did. They fired up their burners for the first time, and I think they said 10 years, and filled the plant and got it running again. I gotta agree with you, honey. I would vote for Jesse the Body.
Yeah.
I definitely would. If Schwarzenegger could be the if he could be the president, I would vote for Schwarzenegger in a heartbeat. He did a lot to get California kicked into high gear, but he cannot legally be president because of his nationality.
Yeah.
Because he was born in what? Austria?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. He's not a natural born citizen of the United States. He is, however, the governor. And I think Schwarzenegger would make a great president. I think Jesse the Body would make a great president. I think Hulk Hogan would wind up banging a knothole in the wall of the White House. I could think of a lot of people that I'd love to see actually try for it. But, let's face it, there's a stigma around politics. I was raised with it. Adam, you were raised with it. You guys in the chat room, you were raised with it. We all know what it is. Politics is a dirty business. Do not get involved with it. We all heard it as kids. I personally hate the career politician. I wish they would go away.
Yeah, I wish that there were term limits across the board.
Absolutely.
In all offices. That way you couldn't have a career politician just jumping from Senate to House of Representatives, just doing whatever they can to stay in.
What? You know what? Hey, here you go, DNC. Democrats, if you want to run Steve Stanton prostitution bill 2030 legalized prostitution. I like that. Okay, all right. Everyone who is Democrat, hardcore Democrat, you want to run somebody that's going to have a chance of winning this one? I got a great idea. Run a porn star. I would vote for Jenna Jameson. If for nothing else, for the hope that she does a striptease on the inauguration. I would vote for Jenna Jameson. And then I'd have a better chance of watching Steve get his prostitution bill passed.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You just want to see Jenna in the Oval Office.
The Oral Office? Yeah, right? I seriously all I want to see is common sense back in our government. That's it. Just bring it back. Don't try the backhand logic with me. Just common sense. Here's the thing. The federal government, the state of Illinois, they have a checkbook. Every month they do their checkbook. And it's further and further and further and further and further in the red. And what do they get? Nothing. I have a checkbook. Every month I do my checkbook. If my checkbook is in the red for too long, I get handcuffs.
Yep.
If I am going to jail for a check that bounced, that I did not know it was going to bounce, what the fuck is this Congress getting away with and why?
Yeah.
If I drive my car with no insurance, I lose my car. If they drive their car with no insurance, they call the president and get a paper to get out of it.
Well, and if they don't like what they're getting paid, they just vote on it at their job and get a raise.
I would love to. Yeah, hey, my job. I hope some of you are listening. Please allow me to vote on giving myself a raise. I will gladly vote on that. I promise you I'm getting a raise.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great idea.
I mean, who would vote against giving themselves a raise?
Right?
Really?
And that's
just back to the prostitution bill there, Steve.
That's 2/3 of where we're at. I'm truly amazed that we have not fallen into a cesspool of 20-year-old Steve shit. I mean, I really am shocked. Now, I was talking to another friend of mine, one that lives in Illinois. The border crisis has been brought up multiple different times by both parties, okay? Everybody's got a different idea on how to handle it. Now, Trump's is pretty straightforward and to the point, and the money is sitting there waiting to be used for it. They're trying to reappropriate it, but they can't because it was passed by Congress to be appropriated for the border wall. The end. It cannot be moved. Okay?
Okay.
Build the fucking wall. And then he's like, well, that's wrong. We are a country of immigrants. We were built as immigrants, blah, blah, blah. I understand that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't matter if they come in legally or illegally. I said, but it does.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, what do you know about it? What do I know about it? What do you want to know about what's really going on at that border? Well, how do you know anything about it? I said, I fucking live here. All right, Steve. So what were you spending for food a week 4 years ago? That's a good question. Damn cat food is $8 a bag. Wow.
You shouldn't eat cat food, Steve.
Yeah, eating cat food's probably not a good idea, even with milk.
Yeah.
But no, I'm like, I fucking live here. I know what's going on. I see it. What do you mean? What do I know about it? There are homeless, illegal immigrants in the streets in Austin that will jump in front of your car so they can get 3 hots and a cot.
Heck, there are illegal immigrants up in New York who are given like a few $1,000s on a card every month.
Yeah, right?
And given the hotel room to stay in free of charge.
I mean, I saw one walking around going, we'll give hand job for food. And no, Steve, it was a guy.
Well, to some people, a hand's a hand.
That's
when you
true.
get that desperate, you know.
That's very true. Oh, God. No, and I mean, like I said, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, we'll give hand jobs for food right on the corner of 2 main thoroughfares in Austin, Mopac and Southwest, and right there. We'll give hand job for food. You really want to put that here? You don't know what dirty dong's going to show up covered in shit and go, here you go. By the way, here, let me add a little seasoning to your burger. My God. But you know, that's it. And everybody that's out there working, me, everybody who's putting in something, everybody that's on disability, everybody that's, you know, dependent on their paychecks, we're all giving up more. All right, explain this one to me. Riddle me this one, Batman. I get paid my money.
Okay.
I go out and earn. Then I have to pay an income tax.
Yeah.
Then when I get my fuel, I have to pay another tax. Then when I get my groceries, I have to pay another tax. Then when I go and I've got to pay tax on toilet paper, and that is something I should never have to pay taxes on.
A luxury tax.
And you know what? I think it is actually listed as a luxury tax.
Probably.
Oh, it's a luxury to be able to wipe your ass. But I'll just let you read it. Oh my God. I can't even read it out loud. I'm that tired.
It does bring a new meaning to Happy Meal, doesn't it?
Well, that would definitely be a Happy Meal. It's got its special sauce. What do you do, right?
Yep.
But I mean, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. So here's Trump. on the one side, we need the border wall, build the border wall.
Didn't
Good
he say he
fences,
wanted
make good
Mexico
neighbors.
to pay for it too?
What?
Didn't he want Mexico to pay for it too?
He actually came up with an idea to get Mexico to pay for some of it. He told them he'd start putting tariffs on everything they were sending back across the border. And boy, they jumped right in, you know.
Okay.
Then it's his next one. The Green New Deal, which is the electric car mandate and getting on clean energy and blah blah blah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, I would love to see it happen, but the technology is not there and the infrastructure will not hold up to it. What's his solution? He calls it drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill?
Get our oil and start using it.
Okay, that I can respect.
And selling it to other countries.
Oh, okay.
Because the deposit of oil that we have under Alaska is bigger than the Persian Gulf.
Okay.
Drill, baby, drill. All right. Cool.
All right.
That'll bring our energy costs down. And he said, while funding research for the future of green energy. He does not want to pay China for the materials to build the lithium batteries that are blowing up. And they are worse than a dumpster fire. So, okay, cool. I could get behind this.
Yeah.
No tax on tips is a new one. Have you heard about this?
No, actually.
This is actually really neat. He said it came from a waitress at Trump Tower in New York, working at the restaurant in Trump Tower.
Was Trump making her pay taxes on his tip?
Federal government is.
Ah.
They make them report their tips. So he said, hey, how is everything going? I'm glad I get to see you and blah, blah, blah. And just being, pretty decent to her. And she goes, well, I would be doing a lot better if they weren't hitting me for 25% tax on all of my tips. He goes, what? Why are you getting hit so hard? And she goes, it's a tip. So they think they're entitled to it. And he goes, no, fuck that. You're the one out here doing the service. If you're getting a tip, I want to tip you.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's
so he goes,
why
no.
You should give gifts and not tips.
So he's sitting there going, wait a minute, hang on. I want to tip my waitress, my bartender, my taxi driver, my caddy. He goes, my barber. And then at the rally today or yesterday, he's like, my barber. Wait a minute, maybe not my barber. I kind of looked up in his head. I'm like, oh my God, he got a sense of humor too. Somebody shoot him again. Let's see if we can get some more improvements. Maybe the next shot will get him off of social media.
Just graze the other ear. Make it
Yeah,
even.
right? We'll balance it out. Maybe not my barber. I'm like, oh God, that's great. He's like, I don't think my barber does that good of a job. And I'm just dying, right? So he's got a lot of good movement in the direction. Obviously, Kamala Harris is going to continue down the Biden road. She's got to show me something different for me to go, I'm willing to put my full support behind her. And it's got to be a lot different than the road we've been on, because the road we've been on sucks.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, it does. It sucks. Like my honey in the chat room. I don't want her going to work and finding out she was replaced by an illegal immigrant. Let's fix it. Let's get it right. I'm not going to be going out here going, make America great again. Dude, no. Take care of our veterans. Take care of our sick. Take care of our disabled. Take care of our elderly. And stop butt fucking the working man. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's it. Stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
If we could do that, I would be so fucking much happier. I really would. No, God.
You gotta watch.
The majority of women are telling Kamala Harris that she's going to have to show them something more than just pussy power. Okay, I could see that.
I can honestly see that. Trump will just grab it.
I could honestly see that. This is somebody I should know, I'm sure. Mike Mays. Oh, okay. I know who this is.
Okay. Can you fill in the rest of us?
One of my old bosses, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, really good guy. Really good guy. I think the world of him. He's a Trump supporter. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's great. No, I agree with her. It's got to be something other than that. Seriously. You can't go in there and go, my pussy is going to control this country. Because then you're going to have Trump on the other side. Well, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do with your pussy power. I'm going to walk over there and grab you by the pussy. And then it's going to be back and forth again. I don't want fucking mudslinging this time. I don't want it. I don't need to hear the fucking kindergarten fight. I don't want it. Here's the issue. What are you going to do to fix it? What are you going to do to fix it?
Yeah. That'd be nice to hear from a debate, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
People edging around the answer and not really answering the question. And
yeah.
Just answer it.
I mean, I don't need... I don't need somebody sitting there going, President Kamala Trump was the best president since 1642. My name is Joe Biden, and I'm running for United States Senate. Like, really? At least he got his name right.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Yes, Trump's absolutely correct. We have an inflation nightmare. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would see the day that a brand new Silverado was $95,000 fucking dollars. And we're talking a mid-level model.
So not even like, a really good.
No, we're not talking we're not talking top of the line. We're talking mid-level, $95,000. Really?
That's ridiculous.
10 years ago, that was a truck I could have walked into Chevy and I could have picked it up for $30,000. $25,000 to $30,000, and I would have drove it off the lot. $95,000.
Yeah. So you can buy it, or you can buy a small home.
Yeah. No, not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
Wait, there's more. They've got mortgage rates that are charging 11%, and then they won't approve the loan for somebody to buy the house. That's like walking up to a hooker and going, hey, how much for a suck and fuck? And she says 150, and then you hand her the 150. She stuffs it in her pocket and says, have a nice day, you're done, and closes the door. That's ridiculous. That would be like me calling Chris and saying, hey, send me a bottle of that Motorhead whiskey. And I send him up the money and he buys it and sends it to me and I get Malort.
Yeah. He sends you video of him drinking it.
Oh, yeah, and video of him drinking it.
Yeah.
And he sends me a shot bottle of Malort while he's down in the fifth of Motorhead that I just bought. I mean, you got to be kidding. So I'm really hoping, maybe a stretch, but I'm really hoping that this year common sense breaks out. Because if it does not, I am putting in a bill to Congress requesting the removal of all warning labels.
Let Darwin settle it.
Please. You know, since I've been doing these podcasts, so let's go back to 2016, right?
Okay.
I have seen a tumultuous multitude of the single dumbest ideas I have ever seen. Let's eat Tide Pods. Snorting condoms. Frozen hot dogs in the anus. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Normally, and especially back then, I was entertained by the stupidity of people. Now I'm sitting here going, what next?
It's an epidemic. It really is.
Yeah, it's an epidemic of dumb people.
Yeah. Stupidity sweeping across the nation.
I'm sitting here going, please tell me it cannot get any worse. And then I get the phone call today from my daughter. Hey, what's going on, kiddo? How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing just fine, Dad. Guess what me and Mom did last night? Well, I don't know. What did you do? We drove 45 minutes in a car to get ramen. You did what?
Like the ramen you can get at any local Dollar General, Walmart.
Evidently, this was authentic ramen. Was
it noodles in a cup? Because that's really all it is. Or just noodles. It could just be noodles.
It's fucking pasta. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We drove 45 minutes to get authentic ramen.
Yeah.
I could have made you ramen for fucking 20 cents 15 years ago. Now it's more like 45, but damn it, still.
Yeah.
You drove 45 minutes and wasted a gallon and a half of gas for ramen?
Well, the water you would use to make the ramen would cost more than the noodles itself.
No shit. And it's still cheaper than the gallon and a half of gas.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, it was really good and filling. I'm like, where is your mother? 45 minutes for ramen. And you know what I saw when she sent me the picture? Broth. Like I could have done that with a bouillon cube.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be kidding me. 45 minutes for fucking ramen. Really? Now, if I was still living in central Illinois and I was going that far, damn it, I'm going to Indiana and I'm getting to the fucking beef house.
Mm-hmm.
The conspiracy theory around on social media is that American ramen noodles isn't even made out of actual noodles and the body can't digest it well or some bullshit. I've shit out ramen noodles, so horse shit, I know it can be digested. But thank you, dear, for that update. No, I mean, I'm like, ramen? You could have driven another 30 minutes and been at the beef house and got a steak like that. And some of the best fucking dinner rolls you've ever had with real butter. Give me a plate of bowel and artery clog over ramen.
Well, I mean, even if they went to a Japanese restaurant to get actual bowl of ramen made,
yeah, that's what I'm understanding. Yeah, huh?
You know, not like styrofoam cup of noodles.
No. I mean, this was like, actually, I've got a picture of it here. Let me bring up the picture because she sent it to me via messenger. So I should be able to show it. And of course, she's going to give me hell when she hears this later, right?
Yeah.
She is going to be extremely pissed at me and call me back and talk a lot of shit. I promise. Which is fine because I don't deserve it, but okay. Here we go. So this is the ramen that she got, right? The ramen.
The ramen.
Here we go. I'm going to share it now. This was the ramen.
Okay.
Well, number one, when I look at this, I see a little bit of pasta over here.
Yeah.
And then I see what looks like a fucked up egg. Mm-hmm. There is some meat in there. That's good. And then I see some baby shit, green shit here. And some Riley ate something wrong green shit here. And it's like this giant spoon. Oh, and they added a picture into it for flavor. No. I don't get it.
It's like for the money you spent for ramen, you could have gotten, you know, I don't know, a small steak.
Well, dude,
but it would have been more delicious.
Did you see that little ass ladle?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Lord, large 44-ounce cup of sausage gravy to drink it with. I'm not going anywhere. You'll come and see me and I'll cook. And remember, I'm an award-winning cook.
Yeah, that is very true.
I have the plaques to prove it. So, no, I mean, I'm like, really? All right, part of that looks like sliced pork loin is what it really looks like.
Yeah.
I could do the same shit and throw it on a grill and it's going to taste better.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got in there, what, kale? What the fuck is kale?
Yeah.
Or was that whatever the fuck that quinoa is? Whatever the hell that shit is. Then you had like gleek and some, you know, some shit that looked like snot and some noodles in a bowl that looked like it was about that big around.
Yeah.
So less than the size of your head, about that deep, and it's got this fucking weirdo spoon that looks like a fucking mini ladle.
Yeah.
Here's your authentic ramen. Dude, that ain't even going to feed my dog. If I still had a dog. You're gonna try to convince me that's a fucking meal?
Yeah.
Did you see anything in that appetizing?
The pork loin, if it was done correctly. Other than that, no, I might like it when I'm sick. Like the
Now, I would
broth and meat, maybe, but
see. I don't even
not.
know about all that.
See, I wouldn't go to a restaurant and get that by itself.
No,
That might be like the appetizer before my Chinese or something.
right? I
But
mean, and then
not alone. No.
what the hell was that egg? Or it looked like a rotten egg got dropped in there and cooked. I mean, that looks like. Hey, here's what that egg looked like to me. It looked like if I ripped a really nasty fart and it decided to materialize as an egg, that's what it would look like.
If you farted under the broth.
Maybe, yeah, right?
That's what it would congeal into.
I mean, I love my kids. But sometimes my kids have the strangest ideas. I want to go 45 minutes and go eat ramen. Well, okay, I'm going to drive an hour and a half and go to a house of ill repute and look for a wife. There's another bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Thank you.
It's about as good as the Tide Pod decisions.
I mean, yeah, I'm like,
I think that's what we should deem it. It's a Tide Pod decision.
Actually, I when I saw the picture, and I mean, I didn't really look at it until now, honestly. But when my first glimpse at it, I looked at it. I'm driving down the road, obviously, and I look at that, and I'm like, and I put the phone back down, and I'm thinking to myself, did my kid eat these Tide Pods to think this was a good idea? Did I fail so bad as a parent that my child ate enough Tide Pods to look at that and go, that's a great idea?
Yeah.
And now she's like, I'm going to kill him. And I even told her, I was like, I am making fun of this. I hope you know that. I gave her fair warning.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I am tired. I have no filter at this point. I am making fun of this tonight. That you drove 45 minutes for ramen.
Yeah. Like, unless they're serving that to you for like $1 or something, if it's cost effective, then maybe. Okay. But going 45 minutes and burning the fuel to do that, you're not really saving money at that point.
Right. Well, here, give me a couple of seconds. Talk about some of the other stupid decisions that you've heard of. And just let me pee and get another drink, and I'll be right back.
All right. So, because I know you guys don't know, and DJ has talked about him having Riley there with him, during this same time, I've been watching my 2 sons and my 7-month daughter and my 16-year-old stepdaughter and my fiance's 3 kids. So there are 7 kids in my house, and I can feel my sanity slipping away. During this time, I have discovered some weird stuff. And the age of these kids span down, so they can pair off and play, and it's cool. But man, some of the decisions that are made in this house are ridiculous. They are crazy. Choosing to eat certain foods together, like Colby Jack cheese and strawberry yogurt.
Ew.
Using the cheese as a spoon.
Blech. I said bad
grabbing
decisions, not stoner food.
Eating crunchy Cheetos with sour cream.
No, I can actually see
that. Just things that normally they don't go together.
I could see crunchy. I could see Cheetos and sour cream. I really could.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't.
Ham, cheese, mustard, mayo, and marshmallows. Now, back in my stoner days.
Apparently.
Allegedly. Back in my stoner days, that actually sounded like a good idea. I found out very quickly it was not.
Okay, my oldest sister.
Terrible.
My oldest sister would eat sunny side up eggs with grape jelly, and not like the good grape jelly, but like cheap jelly. So the dye would mix with the yolk and turn it green.
Ooh. Oh, hell no.
So it's not like she's putting the egg on toast.
Now, here's one I will do. And it's one I picked up from an acquaintance of mine, and he taught me how to do it. It's really, if you could get past the smell, these things taste great.
Okay.
If you are a significant other of someone who eats these, when they are eaten, be somewhere else. Vinegar, onions, hard boil the eggs.
Okay.
Put them in. Add a can of red beets. Red beet pickled eggs. Put them in the bottom back of the fridge for a week.
Oh, Jesus.
And let it ferment. Pull it out. Stir it. Put it back. Don't eat one yet. Give it another week.
Let them gestate.
Right. Pull them out on week 2. Oh, I love pineapple on pizza. That's great.
No. Come on, TJ.
I love a Hawaiian pizza.
Pineapple doesn't go on pizza.
Yes, it does.
No.
It does. No. I cannot believe I've got somebody else I'm having this argument with.
There aren't many hills I'll die on. I will die on this hill.
No, a Hawaiian pizza is delicious. I love a Canadian bacon and pineapple. Hell yeah.
Now, I know people who will, have Canadian bacon with pineapple, or have chicken, pineapple, and barbecue sauce.
Now, we're pushing it.
But I can't. My soul won't let me.
Canadian bacon and pineapple on a pizza. Great. And marinara. It's got to be marinara.
Yeah, on the barbecue chicken pizza, no marinara.
No. I'm not crossing that level. Not on the barbecue chicken, no.
You'll step across the line, but you're not jumping across the line.
No, I'm not leaping all the way over. Like, here's the thing, is like the marinara, the cheese, the pineapple, the Canadian bacon on the crust. To me, that's like Hawaiian toast with a sauce. And I'm like, hey, I'm all for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you're into.
Barbecue chicken or chicken bacon ranch, and you throw pineapple on that, go eat a whole bag of Steve's ass, because no way. No way. That's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, people who want to eat it, good for you. You get a pizza to yourself. Okay? So if you ever want a pizza to yourself and you're having me over, you know what you can order.
And I get a Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah. So
I'm good.
yeah, I mean, I'm good with just pepperoni, sausage, onion, green peppers, some extra
See,
cheese.
my favorite pizza that I get is a thin crust meat lovers or meat market. Add black olives, jalapeno peppers, and extra cheese. So you
Okay.
got 4 types of meat, bacon included, more
Because bacon.
cheese, more cheese, black olives, and jalapeno peppers.
I could do that without the black olives.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not a
See,
huge fan of olives, just overall.
most people I know,
So,
they tell me they could do that, but no jalapenos. And I'm like, no,
oh
man, you
no,
got it. No, I
heat,
love my jalapenos.
heat, I'm good with. I'm fine with heat. It's the olives. I can't
And
stand olives.
and another thing, like one of my favorite things to use as like a sauce that I'm going to put on my pizza, and I'm talking like an after it's cooked sauce. I want something to add a little zip.
Okay,
Frank's Red Hot.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people add Tabasco. I prefer Frank's. And it was when I was getting Butch's frozen. I was working at a place where I went to the bar at lunch on Friday,
Okay.
and we had shots and beer and Butch's frozen pizzas, and I used the Frank's Red Hot on that. And man, I'm telling you what, I went fucking nuts.
Okay, so something you would like, it's a little tweak on it. Frank's makes a red hot powder
Ooh,
that you can use. And they also do a variant of it for their wing sauce
oh
as
yeah,
well, their buffalo wings. So I'll use that on like tater tots or French fries.
that's a new one.
Yeah. So
That actually sounds like it'd be worth a try. Now I've got a roast up in the freezer that I'm probably going to wind up picking up another one because I'm pretty sure my uncle's going to use it. But I need to get another roast, and I am going to once I get my kitchen cleaned back up and put back together, and I get everything done from Riley being here, which it's not his fault. I mean, I'm spending time with him. The place looks like a tornado went through it. It's going to take me 3 days of working in here to get it brought back.
it looks like two bachelors live there.
Oh yeah, and they were throwing their dirty socks at each other,
Yeah.
which the little turd got even and left me a pair of his. I found them under the couch when I folded the couch back up.
There isn't much worse than a growing boy's stinky socks.
No, there's really not.
Especially if they're aging. Like if they're getting older and the socks have been there for a little while.
Yeah, they're fermented.
Fermenting. Yeah.
They can walk out of the room on their own. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he left them. And I'm like, I told him to get packed while I was trying to get my bag together and get other things taken care of.
Yeah.
And I get home today and I find his EpiPen.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm like, boy. And I ask his mom, can you get another one? This one's about to expire anyway. It expires at the end of August.
Okay.
I'll just mail it to me. I wanted to go, get him a damn another one.
Sometimes insurances get a little picky on the rescue meds and stuff.
Here's the thing. This one is about to expire.
Mm-hmm.
Get another one.
Yeah, if you send it now, she might get it, like a few weeks from
Oh,
now?
no. She wants me to spend $80 and send it Priority Express. Registered.
Then she can pay for it.
And I'm like, And if it wasn't one of his meds, I wouldn't even consider it. But it's like,
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do?
Well, I mean, has you between a rock and a hard place. It's medication.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. I've got to send it back. But I'm going,
Yeah.
you should be able to replace this at this point because it's fucking old. It's a year old.
Chances are she has some at home. They
I'm
don't
sure
just
she
give you
does.
one pen. You know, for my insulin, I get 5 at a time
Right.
per box, and I get multiple boxes.
This is one box.
Yeah, one box should have, if I were to guess, probably 5 pens in it.
But I'm like, why would you give me the whole box? Give me one pen, keep the rest.
Yeah.
Like my Humira, I get 2 pens and one box.
Okay.
Which the VA finally decided that I was worthy enough to have again.
Okay.
So that's part of why I'm like all over the place right now, because it's starting to kick in. And I might actually sleep tonight.
Just as long as you get more than 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Yeah, you need to.
God, I hope so. And luckily, tomorrow's an easy day. I've got to drive. I've got to ride with my boss up to Austin. I'm meeting him at 10 in the morning.
Okay.
I had to ride with him to Austin, pick up the Austin truck, drive back to San Antonio in the Austin truck. Yeah, honey. You know what? I might actually do that, hon. I really might, because that's insane. Yeah. But I've got to drive the Austin truck back to San Antonio, because while I was gone, here we go.
Like, what? They messed something up while you were gone?
The San Antonio test truck decided to explode the fuel pump.
What?
And it shot all the metal pieces into the engine.
Oh. Holy shit.
$15,000 to $20,000 repair. And that's a maybe.
That's on the cheap end, right?
No, that is a maybe.
Oh.
Maybe it can be fixed. Basically, the fuel pump detonated, and then it sent shrapnel into the motor.
Yeah, that's a good enough reason for a maybe.
It's a maybe. So, long and the short of it, our test truck detonated. We don't have a test truck right now. The Austin truck is identical to that truck. Ugh. But the Austin truck has got its own issues that are, quite frankly, worse.
I don't know how you can get much worse than shrapnel in your engine.
The first time I saw these 2 day cabs and the 1 red sleeper that we've got, the first words out of my mouth were, those need retired now. And literally, they're blowing apart, all 3 of them. The second words out of my mouth were, why did you buy that brand of shitbag truck? Well, they were cheap. Bad answer.
Yeah.
But if we could get them quick, makes it worse.
Yeah.
So if my boss will listen to me or let me drive his car when we go get the other truck tomorrow, I'm going to go up 281 and I'm going to pull in at a place and say, look, there are day cab semis right there. Let's go find out what they cost. And if we could get one for less than what they're wanting to repair that, fuck repairing it, send it to the chipper and buy this.
Yeah.
And at least the one I'm pointing to is a Freightliner.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that these trucks are all over the place for sale right now. Why? The economy tanked. Why? Oh, his name is. No, we're not going to go into it. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. And I'm like, you know what? I need a BJ and a smile. That's what I fucking need.
Mm-hmm.
I need orally satisfied. I need orally satisfied and a smile.
Just not enough to help an immigrant out, right?
Pretty much. No, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to pick up the Happy Meal because I may not leave happy.
Fair enough.
I'm for crying out loud. Just I can't believe it. I'm fried with all of this week. Like really. Now here's the return trip from St. Louis. I got to talk to my other half for a good while, and I got to talk to her ex-husband. Which he and I are still friends, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that. So I'm on the way back. She got a motorhome. Hey, cool. All right. Yeah, right. You. Then she started showing me the condition. So, in addition to getting my coach put together and taking care of it, now I'm going to be kicking in for that one too and trying to help get it put together at the same time. And the only really positive thing I can go with on this is once it's put together, it'll be a nice unit. It's a little older. Okay. I'd say about a 30-foot Winnebago on a Ford chassis and like a late 80s Ford chassis. I mean, it's actually a pretty decent unit.
Okay.
Get it put back together and running and kicking and doing what it's supposed to. I mean, it'd be a nice unit. It's the here it is now, and then you know what it's going to cost to get it there, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there, I'm feeling like, Robin Williams playing Adrian Cronauer. Yeah. Wow. But there is another positive. Like, all right, so I feel for her because it's 4 in that one.
Okay.
Does this actually fall into line with the homeless guy willing to give a hand job for food? Does that mean he'll give food for a hand job? I might. But
just gotta be careful if you go to trade a hot dog for a wiener.
Right. There's 4 of them in that one. And this is one of the smaller, you're talking 27 to 30 foot. It's a smaller one where the bathroom is kind of like on either side going down the hallway. And then the whole back is the main bed. Then you got the other bunk that's up over top of the driver's seats. The table folds down into another bunk. I mean, it's tiny. You don't have look. If I'm driving that thing and she was in the back and she farted, I could smell it in about 3 seconds. It's wafting, okay?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be behind the wheel going, oh, God! Shit! But, I mean, again, there's something to, I look at it and I'm like, boy, she's got some issues, but there's something to it. It does start and drive, and there are things that can be done to bring it back up to snuff. And I don't think it's going to be like, thousands like this one's got going to it. But there is some money that's going to have to go into it. She's only got to replace one awning. I have 4 to replace.
Yeah.
They've got to replace 7 tires. I've got to replace 6 and a rim. I've got to replace a semi rim and 6 semi tires. They're replacing regular pickup truck tires.
Yeah.
She could upgrade the roof air to a roof air heat pump. They've got to fill the propane tank, but they're legal to drive theirs to go fill the propane tank. There are a lot of things that are falling in line that actually she's got a little bit of a benefit on her end, where mine, once it's opened up, is literally an apartment on wheels.
Yeah.
As everybody has seen, right? I mean, I've got 2 TVs in mine, for crying out loud. And a big-ass bathroom where the toilet is in its own closet. So you don't get anything until it wafts out after opening the door, and you're like, ow, damn. But putting this one together, I'm pretty much triple what she's got to do to put hers together. But there is a bonus. And she was coming to visit. The kids could stay in the little one. And then we could lock the door.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not putting in a sex swing. I think that's anybody, dear. Eggs and beer waft pretty easily. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Well, Adam's got to grab the phone call. So, I mean, it's been absolutely crazy the last week. And very little sleep. I finally had my meds. I'm ready to fall asleep. And we're all trying to kind of make it through. And the one person I expected to log in tonight was Chris, and I haven't even heard from him. I guess Chris's wife tied him up. Good for him. Good for her if she did. Hope she did. I really hope that she tied him up. Yeah, he never even answered me. Shit. So to kind of recap today, we've had the motorhome from hell discussion. And no, I will say this, my other half she's got a lot of potential with it. There's a lot of things that do need to be done, but between eBay and Amazon and the way things are now, and maybe about, I'd say $1,500 to $2,000, that thing, before the tires, obviously, that thing's whipped all the way into shape, and it's going to be a nice unit. That would be something that it's a great starter unit for somebody. And that's pretty much where she's at as a starter unit. This one is my 3rd coach, and I am my first diesel, and I am getting close to retirement, where I'm going to enjoy this a lot more and have it on the road. So when that comes, I want to be fully prepared. But I also want to be prepared. If I get off on a Thursday night and I decide, well, I'm going to go to the coast after work, I take the coach into work on Thursday morning and I go to work. I get off of work, I hop in the coach, I got the motorcycle with me or the car, and I go on down to the coast and I park on the beach and I just enjoy this, and there you go. I'm well aware you are not the only one, dear. So I'm explaining. but I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm almost there. So this one for me getting it done, this is also my home. And I want everything to be like perfect right. It's a Hun, yours is a good starter vehicle for like motorhome and RV and stuff like that. Get it put together and swung into place, and that'll be a hell of a unit. A hell of a unit. But I mean, I'm like, I may leave Illinois and decide that I want to go sit in the mountains for a while and then drive into like Montana. I may decide that I may get a wild craziness and go, oh, I want to see California. No, yeah, that'll never happen. I don't think I'll ever want to see California again. I'm good with that. It would be kind of fun to try to drive this into New York, though. Like, hey, I'm going to pull over in Little Italy over here. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot that's, in a very, very short amount of time, I've gotten like a million things to sit down with my mind and try to unwind and unpack. I'm kind of waiting on Adam for when he finishes up his phone call. Oh, there he is.
Sorry about that.
So, did the stock market crash or?
No, it's just my boy's mom calling into video chat with them. Luckily, it doesn't take too long, but you know, I try to be nice,
right?
Because I know if things were reversed, I'd want to talk to the boys.
Well, yeah. So. All right. So, with that being said, we have an announcement. A fun announcement.
Uh-oh.
An announcement that is going to leave your taint in suspense.
My taint? Did you clear this with Julie?
Well, the listeners anyway.
Oh, okay.
Amigos After Dark launches this upcoming Thursday at 11:30 at night.
So we could have lovely drunken conversation and just follow whatever rabbit hole we happen to find.
I'm going to be drunken and exhausted because it's after I get off of work and drive back from San Antonio.
So get your Crown and Coke ready.
Right.
It's about to go down.
Make sure your taint is protected. Chris might try to diddle with it.
Never know.
Grab your ankles. Somebody in the chat room or on this show might try to give you a virtual rim job. That's the rabbit hole that show is going to go down. Just be ready. Yep. I don't know what's going to happen. And I wanted to kind of talk about, I think, Adam, you and I talked about this a little bit, and I wanted to bring it up.
Okay.
The predecessor to this show was Mayhem Unleashed. The Correct. Mayhem brand I've held since 2004. So everything had a Mayhem attachment to it. Yeah. And 2016, we launched the old show Mayhem Unleashed. That was kind of based on the old form of broadcasting that I used to do. It wasn't as personal. It was a lot more satire. It was a lot more in your face. It was a lot more raw. There was a lot more dick and fart jokes. I mean, it was insanity at its best, right?
Yeah.
Well, then that show, as everybody knows, last year, it pretty much fell apart. And it was picked up in another way. Whether I agree or disagree is not my play. You know, I'm not going to get into all of that, but it was picked up in another way. And it's kind of going the way of the dodo. and I'm not talking that program, or I'm talking that style.
Yeah.
It's really going by the wayside. Not as many people grab it anymore. I know on Sunday night we don't get a lot of live listeners. However, we do get a lot of replays because this show is very replayable, but it's also very relatable because my idea when Amigos was put together is let's pull the curtain back and have a real program where it's real people being real. That was it, right?
Right.
And so far, according to the numbers and the demographics, it's been successful.
Yep.
It has actually been successful. And I'm happy with that. And it's growing continuously, which is even better. Now, again, obviously Sunday nights, we don't have the live numbers, but we get the replay numbers. And that I really appreciate everyone that supported it. I love my team now. I love the fact that we've actually pulled this curtain back. We're being real. And you kind of get to see who we really are. It's not a character. We're being us.
Well, to be fair, Sparkle Farts isn't a real character. Okay. But it made a bunch of people laugh. And that was the point of that. Okay. Because that night, people needed to laugh.
But we sit back and we talk about this stuff. And we're throwing ideas at each other in our show chat. And we really do put the work into this show. The initial reason for Amigos After Dark was very simple. What do, Adam? I think all of us between all of us, we throw 50 to 100 ideas every week at the wall.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact of the matter is there's too much to use.
Yeah.
So if we want to use some of these other ideas, we either
some
have
of the
to
more
do
foul
more
ones at that.
Yeah, some of them are pretty raunchy.
Wow.
But in order to do those and do them justice, we need an after-hours show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all there is to it. So it's still us. It's still TJ, as you know him, me, Chris. Hopefully Rage will get on there.
Possibly Rage.
We're hoping to have the whole crew in.
I'd love to have Irene here. I'm sure Marvin
absolutely.
and I are going to record stuff for it.
Yeah, and, it's just us just later in the evening like you would meeting up at a bar or around a campfire. Tossing back some ice cold drinks and just letting it go.
Well, imagine us more tired, more drunk, and a lot more pornographic. And that's probably where this show is going to go. So I'm in a way, I'm really excited because we get to expand the content. And I'm also really excited because it's the one time frame that I never really had a regular slot in. I've always been evenings or afternoons or mornings, or there was one job I had the lunch drive, but it's always really been evenings, mornings, or afternoon drive. And that's been the 3 slots I've always been in. I've never really had a late night program that moves over into the next day after midnight. We're starting this show at 11:30 at night Central Time. So hun, you're on Eastern Time. It'll be 12:30 in the, after midnight for you. Anybody in Eastern Time Zone, you're midnight. If you're Mountain, it's 10:30 at night. Pacific, 9:30 at night. This is a different kind of setup for me because I've never had that. We're going to push into the next day time slot. And I'm actually really excited because I want to know what the envelopes are we can really push and really enjoy it. But still stay true to what we got. Stay true to where we are at. That'll be more the chance to, if Rage is feeling up to it and he's feeling better, we might hear an old school Rage rant, which I would love.
Because, I mean, let's face it. You all are getting to know us now. We love the fact that you are. But you honestly think that we're as clean as we are all the time? No. So you get to go further down that rabbit hole of getting to know us. Yeah. It's like we're kind of censoring ourselves. Kind of.
I mean, there is some slight. Now, I was censoring myself for the last couple of weeks pretty hard.
Yeah.
But I also had 12-year-old ears running around here, too.
Yeah. It's like I'm fortunate, even though I have my 7 here, my office is in a completely different room.
7?
Away from, yeah.
God, we know what you like to do in your spare time.
Well, I have my 2, and then me and Julie's 1, and then Julie has 4. And I have them all right now.
So I know what you definitely like to do in your spare time.
Yeah. It's a great stress reliever.
I wouldn't know. It's been 3 fucking years. We got a meter running on me right now.
Hey,
I don't like this.
Could be worse. Could be 15.
Ooh.
We both know who owns that record.
Well, I know who owns the record, and probably will for a long time to come. But
damn,
they
can keep that record too.
I know, right?
Yep.
That's been crazy. All right. So, what do you think of this?
I like it.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I've got a different one for the other show, though.
You kind of need to have a different one. Because it has a whole different flavor to it.
I'll bring that one up here in a little bit so you can hear it.
Okay.
But anyway, final thoughts tonight, Adam.
Good show tonight. We had a lot of good discussion about news, about the showmate, Rage. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And please come and join us on Amigos After Dark Thursday night. We'd love to see you guys there. And,
make it an active chat. Spread the word, too.
Yep. Help us spread the corruption.
Oh, yeah, I intend to corrupt everybody. Remember, Amigos After Dark starting this Thursday, 11:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm TJ. That's Adam. This has been Mayhem's Amigos. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you for this show next week, 6 p.m. right here. Good night.
Have a good one, everybody.
I do like this. It's groovy.